Today, guys, on Beer Geek Nation, we are looking back at the top 10 beers of 2012, at least in my humble opinion. And keep in mind, these are beers that I've only reviewed on the channel. So if you do want to find links to them, they're going to be links in the video button as I go through them. So without further ado, let me get started. At number 10, Flying Dog's Barrel Aged Gonzo. You know, Flying Dog Gonzo Porter is one of the beers that originally got me into craft beer, and still a beer that's in my, usual rotation. So when I heard they were releasing a barrel-aged version of it, I knew that I'd had to review it. And it did not disappoint. Taking the already classic Gonzo and imparting oak and vanilla barrel characteristics to it added a level of complexity to an already fantastic beer that few beers have matched this year. A must try for fans of barrel-aged stouts. Number 9, the Brewery Smoking Wood. Admittedly, I'm not a fan of smoked beers. That was until the Brewery's Smoking Wood. Huge sweet smoke character, comparable to sticking your head in a North Carolina barbecue pit. Balanced with big oak and vanilla flavors pulled from the bourbon barrels this one rested in. And to top all that off is a nice backbone of spicy rye to bring the big, angry, complex beer together. Another perfect example of the brewery trying something different and hitting it out of the park. This is a beer like you have never had before and one that needs to be experienced. Number 8, Founders Backwoods Bastard. Founders has some great beers in their lineup, and by far one of the best and most underrated is their Backwood Bastard, a bourbon barrel aged variation of their year-round Scotch ale. Backwoods takes the style and ramps it up to 11 with massive bourbon characters that help to accent the already solid base beer. Dangerously drinkable and for sure a beer that gets better with age, so pick some up before more people realize just how fantastic this beer actually is. Number 7, Firestone Walker's Wookie Jack. Black IPAs are a dividing style. You either love them or hate them. With Wookie Jack, Firestone Walker manages to bridge that craft beer divide with this amazing take on the style. A big West Coast hop profile for hopheads and a nice roasty and spicy rye malt bill for fans of black IPAs. A beer not to be missed. Number 6, Cigar City Marshall Zukov. Far and away one of the best stouts brewed today, Cigar City's Marshall Zukov is a massive chocolate and dark fruit bomb of imperial stout. Pouring like oil and leaving a brown film on your glass, you know this is an experience of a beer. If you're a fan of imperial stouts, you need to try this beer. Number 5 was Goose Island Bourbon County Stout 2012. Probably no surprise to anyone that this is on the list, but this year's batch was easily one of the best to date. All politics and business aside, Goose Island is still doing amazing stuff with their beer, and this one in particular. It's one of those beers that I truly feel lives up to the much-deserved hype. Number 4, Firestone Walker's 16th Anniversary Ale. I'm not sure what more there is to say about this beer, really. Complex is the understatement of the century, dangerously drinkable, and one of the best of the Firestone Anniversary series to date. Find this beer while you can, get a couple bottles, and definitely sell her. You will not be disappointed. Number 3 is Founders Curmudgeon's Better Half. Old Curmudgeon is one of my favorite beers and just a fantastic example of the style. Taking Founders' already great old ale and throwing it in maple syrup bourbon barrels was a definite winning combination. While most people will say that CBS was the star in the backstage series for Founders, for me it was Curmudgeon's Half by a long shot. Number 2 is Firestone Walker's Double DBA. To say this beer is a masterpiece is an understatement. Sweet malty notes blending with an amazing barrel character that Firestone Walker is becoming known for is just the start of this beer. As it warms up, more complex roasted notes come out as the barrel character goes from a toasted coconut flavor to sweet vanilla. Just a fantastic beer and just another reason Firestone Walker is one of the best craft breweries around. All right, guys, so the number 1 beer of 2012, in my opinion, was Stone Ruination 10th Anniversary. Looking back at all the beers I've had this year, this one stands out as the one that for me is leaps and bounds above the rest. It's a beer that I still talk about with friends and other craft beer fans. It's a beer that, without a doubt, takes the number 1 spot in 2012 and happily destroyed my palate while doing it. It's a beer that showed that this brewery is not intending to lean back and rest on their laurels. Stone Ruination 10th Anniversary is the #1 beer of 2012. The regular Ruination is a craft beer staple, so to take an already fantastic beer and amp it up seemed like a no-brainer, and Stone nailed it. Epic levels of hop flavors ranging from floral and tropical to incredibly aggressive West Coast citrus that will peel the enamel off your teeth, all tied together with a 10% ABV malt backbone that balances this insanity out perfectly. This is the kind of beer that needs to be brewed again for the sake of hopheads and craft beer brewers alike. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, the top 10 beers of 2012. And of course, you can check out all my reviews for these beers on YouTube, beergeeknation.com. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and I look forward to another great year of killer craft beer. Thanks for watching, and of course, remember life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers, guys.